Mel, everybody, just complete a live stream with the Real Blonde Broker that's exclusive to our Triumph TA channel. Our handle is Mal and Man. Please do subscribe. We need more subscribers to even consider to be able to monetize. So I appreciate if you guys can give us a subscription for free. Just go to YouTube. Get the handle is Mal and Man. We plan to have the Great Mass B, Tesla Trekker, myself doing regular live streams on Tuesday, and sometimes Danny comes in, and sometimes we got the Real Blind Broker if she has time. So the Real Blind Broker is a very famous trader that is on X, tons of followers. She also partners with Tim, Stock Pattern Pros, and they do all these crazy day trading. Like there are things that they're seeing that I'm absolutely blown away. So please check it out. If you like it, please subscribe and also check out her profile as well. Thank you so much. Bye.
This is my Tesla chart. This is my Tesla channel I've been monitoring. We bounced out of it briefly today and hit my gold and blue bands, which acted as double resistance. And you can see that this red number of 15,000 is sellers. So they were obviously selling and not buying it. And then it came and it formed a head and shoulders. And this is a 1 hour chart, by the way, that I'm on right now. So after forming a head and shoulders and trying to test this trend line, we saw a big sell-off after hours in Tesla. I mentioned some gap fills. It's filled 2 of them so far out of the 3. Tesla is still not strong until it can get above this 231.7. So I am anticipating that it most likely continues down to 220, maybe even into the teens to fill that third gap that I mentioned on Twitter between the 218 and the 213.5 area. I have the exact gap on Twitter. Let me look at what I typed. 213.75 to 218 is that gap. And that also kind of coincides with my gold band down here. So I am anticipating that Tesla will drop between this like 216, 220 area and hit this channel and then get some relief. So that's where I'm mainly watching it. I did start to buy this mid 220 area because you can never time your buys perfectly. But that is what I'm looking at, is a continuation down to this 216 to 220 area as a buy zone for Tesla.
That's very smart.
Matt, I think you're gonna front run her. We're just
I just bought right now, and at 226 I had an order in and it hit. So I'm gonna front run a little bit just because I just want to add more.
Well, yeah. Well, see, I'd sold all mine, so I didn't have a position left.
Oh, nice.
And so I was waiting to get in again. And so I kind of started buying a little too right here. And then I thought, no, I'm wrong, because it started to lose that line. So I got out. So then I decided once it was below this purple that I needed to wait to buy within here. So I'm like you can't time it perfectly. So I bought a little in the 220s, and then I will continue to add as I get what I think is going to be this third gap fill area. It may not gap fill entirely. It may hit, this 216 and bounce. So it'll only be a partial gap fill, but I think it's coming for that third one.
Yeah, I could see that too.
That makes sense. I've got, I'm a big believer in these Fibonacci extension levels. And when I go off of let's see here, when I go off the 101.81 low, and then that's as the waves start, and then go all the way up to the 299.29 high, and then back down to the 138.80 low for the wave 2, then and do the extension from there. The 38.2% extensions at $214.24. And for anything to go like really bearish, really bullish, it really should hold support right around there, 214.24. in my
Yeah,
opinion.
and that, would be into the channel
Exactly.
as well, and into this kind of gold area that we're talking about, that gap fill. So yeah, I think that third gap fill will come. But you can definitely see, that they were selling that after hours. If I broaden this a little bit more, you can see these numbers, and they're definitely selling. So
Really cool. What what kind of indicator do you use to show you like sell order sizes?
I have a script that a friend wrote me that just shows the different size it sells. It's not an exact number of, what they are, but obviously if you start seeing big ones, you know that they're exiting a position. So it's just a customized script that I have.
Very cool.
Thanks.
Do you mostly
But
react to price action, trying to, just kind of look and just react in the short time frame, or do you also have like any thoughts in terms of what's going to happen if the third gap fills and you're going to get to 220 to 216? Is there any thought in terms of what might happen after that, or are you being a proper trader and just react to price action?
I mean, I do. I've proper trader, also pattern trader. So I've been studying the pattern on Tesla, and I was one of the few that said it's going to 150 when it did, and nobody, everybody's like, no, we're going to 300. And in fact, that's how I met Danny. Is Danny was following me, and he's like, I just don't understand why Tesla's going up, and or not going up. And I'm like, Danny, it's going to 150. And he's like, no, it can't be. And I'm like, Danny, it's going to 150. And this was when it was, 250. And finally he believed me. And then, he really got his system down after that. And so we laugh because he's like, you really like showed me what I had to go and tweak and figure out, and on my system. So Danny and I have been great friends since then because we had so many discussions on Tesla. And I hated to, like, he was so hopeful that it would bounce, and I hated to be the one that's like, it's not bouncing, and then he bought it and got a beautiful bounce, and he's held it and done fantastic, and I'm so happy for him. But I really think it'll come down here, and then I will be holding it. I think it will rebound into that October event or into the end of the year. But I kind of feel like this is like a wave 3. I don't know if you would agree with this tracker. So we will probably go back and test at least the 231, 233 would be my guess. So, we probably get some move to test around here, even this 236, and then come down for that number. So something
Yeah,
like this.
I definitely agree with you. I do agree with you.
Because, Tesla is just the type that they see a discount and they go after it, and it usually gets a pretty nice bounce. So that would give it, maybe an $8 to $10 bounce for wave 4, and then come down in a wave 5 into our target. So that's my expectation for Tesla currently.
Are you familiar with this theory of alternation in Elliott wave counts? So like if the wave 2 is very long, the wave 4 will be very short and vice versa.
Yeah, I have heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is definitely a very long wave 2. That wave 4 bounce will not be very long. It will be very fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it'll probably, bounce on just the earnings or bounce on, we have data to this week, a lot of different things that are expected. So,
Yeah, I'm pretty bullish on
somewhere
that.
along there, it should probably bounce and then come down to that lower target.
Yeah, I'm
But,
pretty bullish on this
these
right
are
now
the
this week, so that might help as well.
these are the, 3 I'd be watching: the 232, 233.8, and 236.5. I don't think it bounces higher than, one of these 3 lines that I have. And
That
then
really makes
come
sense
down
too,
here.
because at 232.80, that is our weekly moving average 200.
Yeah, so that would actually be perfect right around there. or 233 to overshoot a little bit.
Sure.
Because, they usually like to fake you out a little bit thinking it's coming back and then it doesn't.